Infantry really need to be aware of this new Kami secret weapon that I've been using on Battlefield 5. I'm trying to level up all the tanks, and you join me here on a bit of Iwo Jima defense. I'm just trying to take out as many infantry players as I can, and I've actually unlocked this AA variant of the Kami, and trust me, it is absolutely insane. Mowing infantry down is super easy, as you see there, just shooting through them without even breaking a sweat. You do have a bit of an overheat on the weapon, and you'll notice that if you try and use it against multiple targets or a few planes. But overall, it's super effective, and a nice change of pace from the usual tank shell HMG loadout. Versus planes, it's also really good. Check out this, as a Corsair, yep, flies over us and we just smash him really easily. More infantry to take down. As long as you balance that overheat, you can really cause a load of damage. I think it's a level 4 specialisation on the tree. You also have to pick the AP rounds, I think it is, and you do unfortunately have to sacrifice your primary, secondary and 5th slot in order to use this, but it's kind of worth it. You can use that AT variant of the HMG as well, but it's really not something that I have to use too much. I have to get some repairs here. Hopefully this squad mate doesn't steal the tank, he is sitting in it. Sometimes you do find that on BF5, if you manage to get out the tank without getting killed through the animations, you start repairing and, well, there you go, he's running off with it. Hopefully he doesn't keep this and he gives it back. He's been quite a good squad mate so far this match, being pretty good with the repairs. I've noticed loads of people are trying to repair things as well because of that weekly challenge that we have. A lot of people need to either get repaired or deal repairs. Let's see if he gives it back. Yeah, he has jumped out. That's really cool. Not often you see that on Battlefield. People actually team playing. Pretty incredible stuff. I always find a little bit as well in the tanks that I am being a bit defensive and camping. We get rushed here. And see, the track's gone on the side. You see all those sparks and flames off the side of the tank. That's because we've been hit. And on some tanks, you can just keep pushing through, and they will work even with these kind of issues that you get from getting hit by a tank. But until I do a full repair, there's no way I'll survive this. We're on really low HP here. Thankfully this guy is helping us out. He keeps on just topping us up. There's loads of enemy players just camping, and Alpha has unfortunately gone. I really want to maybe go in there, but no, we can just farm a couple of guys, and unfortunately we're probably going to lose this flag at this point, which is a bit of a shame. Sometimes I feel in tanks in BF5 you can't actually push in and do the damage you want to. You know, you want to get in there with the tank, and unless you have maybe the AT mines on some of the tanks that came out with the game initially, not the Pacific tanks, but like the 38T for example, you can't really get in there and help. The flamethrower is pretty good on some tanks, but again, you're quite at risk of players taking you down, which is a shame. I did find out recently, after watching a video from Azura Productions, I don't know if you've heard of that guy, but he's a really good YouTuber, just starting out, I think, with these loadout videos on Battlefield 5. He's really good, and I've subscribed to him recently, started watching a bit of his stuff. He's doing what I used to do in BF4, so going really in-depth with some of the statistics and analysis for the tank, and he's actually found out that this thing has a 600 RPM and a 900 millisecond velocity on the AA cannon, so that is why you do so much damage. It's absolutely incredible. It's a 2-hit on infantry, around 30-35 meters, and then there is a bit of drop off, but you're around 34 damage up to 75 meters. That's pretty cool. 58 damage within 15 meters, so you're really two-shotting people. Maybe one-shotting in the head, or 90 damage in the head, something like that, which is why I was getting so many kills before with those headshots, just instantly. We managed to make it across here. We do have a tank behind us, it's a Sherman I think, but a bit of smoke, we should be alright. So you rejoin me here over in the cave, up the mountain a little bit. I've got my turret disabled, so I've got to fix that quickly. Thankfully, this guy is helping me out. And unfortunately, this is where this tank doesn't excel too much. At range, you're pretty good versus infantry again, but not great. We have some people to our left here. Let's see how many push. And there's that headshot, just whacking people. It does so much damage against infantry. It's absolutely crazy. But against enemy tanks, I can't really do much. I can get the AT out and do a bit, but it's more like tickling the enemy tanks rather than taking them down. I'm also fairly new to this tank as well, so I don't want to overextend and just ruin this streak, because we've got quite a few kills at the minute, like 30 or 40 kills, which is pretty sweet. And unfortunately, it's just that tank camping again. You find yourself stuck on the edge of the map. Let's see if we can get in. No, we can't get in there because we're way too big. And unfortunately, we will lose Alpha. Maybe I can't get all the way back over there. Every time I push, I get hit by that Sherman who's ranging us from miles away. So I think maybe the best thing to do is look to take down enemy planes, which will no doubt be very effective at. See, there's the range where it starts to drop off. You see that on that Corsair. Trying to take him out at range, it's just not really that effective. What about against infantry? So that's still pretty good. Against infantry at range, no headshot either. So that was just body shots. I think it's one of these things where it's an AA gun, but really you're going to be using it versus infantry most of the time. And there we've just been smacked by something. I don't know what that was. Makes an almighty racket as well getting hit in this thing. It's absolutely huge, this tank. It's like a boat. Like a massive bathtub. Still, let's try and get ourselves in a position where we can take out some enemy planes. So now we're in pure plane farming mode. I've got to the top of the hill here, behind Alpha, just to see what it would do against enemy planes. I've taken a few down this match, but they've all been hit by Fliegerfaust, and that's where the range comes in. You can see I was really not getting much damage, and there's a load of damage. Take him down. Pretty easy stuff. What about this next guy? Not so much, but still, pretty decent. I think this is what the tank will excel at, especially on these breakthrough matches where you have players that really like to farm in the planes. I'm one of those guys. I will play infantry, I'll do a bit of everything. But the planes are so effective. There's another plane taken out. They're so effective that you can't blame people for doing it. And the Fliegerfaust, I think, is broken. I also think some of the planes are broken. It's just crazy damage all over the place, and you really don't have to have much skill at all. The planes you can just blast with the HMGs, and the Fliegerfaust you don't even need to aim it really half the time. I've used it a bit. It's completely broken. If you want to, you can get a kill every time you shoot it, and if two of you are using it, well, that's just mental. It's a shame really, the Fliegerfaust, because it makes people annoyed. You've got those that think it's only the plane tryhards that cry, and then you've got those that actually realise that it's probably broken and DICE didn't mean to release it like this. And then you've got those people that know it's broken, but they don't care, because they're killing planes and whatever. And I'm probably one of those people. It is broken, but whatever. I can avoid it in a plane. I'm not going to complain about it if I'm going 100 for 0 and then I get taken out. It's kind of a bit odd to do that, I think. But there we go. The planes are broken too, so whatever. It's just another thing in the game. And we've been disabled here. That is the worst thing in this game, where you just get hit once and that's it. So I've got to do a full repair to get my engine back, even though my health is all the way up because I did the quick repair. And yeah, that's what we have to do if we want to move a little bit and get back. And that's why most people will camp in a tank, because one thing hits you, it's game over, you get taken down. And that really sucks. I've also played a couple of rounds actually before in Iwo Jima, doing this defense in the tank. I found it way easier in the Type 97 when it gets to this point. I never ever end up on top of the hill in the tank. I always get taken out before I get up there, and it's either because I get just jumped by enemy players and they're all over me, or I just forget that the dead zone is super aggressive and it just pushes you out. There's a load of enemy players, and that's what this thing does. It's just infantry farming. It's crazy how good it is. And these guys are all hiding in the cave. Unfortunately, we are going to lose it by the looks of it. Yeah, so we got to retreat. And hopefully I don't get cut off, but I think, yeah, you can see the dead zone's already closed in on us, and we won't be able to get up the hill, really. I don't think it's possible. So let's see if we can get some kills before we get taken out. I think the main thing to take away from this tank is it looks like this might be the end, as that tank's going to push us, and we're in the dead zone. It's just super effective versus infantry. The Kami is incredible. As we die here, let's see how many players we can take out with us. We've got a couple. We got quite a few. We're going out in flames here. Not going to take us. Unfortunately in the dead zone now, so there's absolutely no chance. And the retreat is failed. There, we blow up. So there you have it. I think really it's something you should definitely try. Let me know what you think of it in the comments, and I'll see you next time.